to episode 13 of 25 with Tech 25. It's one of our holiday episodes. And what better to do during the holidays than have some of your extended family come over? So we have some of our tech facilitators here with us today. They can introduce themselves to you.
I am Caitlin Fikes. I'm the tech facilitator at Ivy Hill and Greenbrier.
And I'm Meredith Slicer, and I'm the tech facilitator at Olive and Westgate.
And with you, as always, me, Tim Higgins, Secretary for District 25. And so the reason that I wanted to have these two, so Caitlin and Mary Beth are actually two of our four, correct, tech facilitators across the district. And they sort of have all the elementary schools split up amongst them to kind of go in and integrate technology into the classrooms and into the school and kind of give our students some technology experiences and be up on the tech, help everybody through. So they may be familiar faces to you. If not, just as we are at admin here, also great technology resources and are filled with all sorts of amazing ideas and projects. And that is why I wanted to have them on today, because they do a pretty cool thing during this time of the year, which is the 12 Days of Tech. So I don't know if you guys want to just introduce, I don't know, kind of what that is and what we'll be talking about here.
So what we've been doing is we've been sending emails to our staff, and we get together prior to the holidays and we talk about what we think are some good tips to share. And Caitlin is kind enough to put a great website together so that they can all be housed there, and we all add our tips and instructions on how to do them and shoot an email out to staff in the morning. Maybe.
We appreciate that quick and easy tips we've been sharing.
Totally. So we wanted to just we're going to rock through as many of these as we can. If we can't get through all of them, which I'm expecting that may be the case, I'm going to send out a link to also be able to, if you haven't gotten the emails from these lovely people, I'm going to make sure that you have the link on our follow-up email later this evening or tomorrow, so that you have the whole list. So I think we're just going to get rolling right into it. And I think we're going to start up here with Caitlin. So she's going to talk about AirDrop.
So AirDrop is something I recently discovered, though I know it's been around for a little bit. But most of the time I find that when I'm going to tweet something or take pictures of the kids while they're doing something, I have my phone on me more than I have anything else. So I found a better way than sending just 3 at a time through email or trying to use Dropbox, and that's AirDrop. So on your laptop, one thing you want to make sure you have set up is if you're in the Finder spot, there's a section on the left-hand side for AirDrop. And you want to kind of look, I already see some stuff popping up, at the bottom here where it says, allow me to be discovered. Normally, I think it defaults to no one, but we want to go ahead and make sure that everyone is the option we have selected. So once you do that, you're able to kind of connect with different district laptops and iPads, and if their iPhones enabled as well, and kind of drop files to each other virtually. So I'm going to go ahead and connect our iPad so that way you guys can see how you would be selecting some photos and files to share that way. Maybe.
Well, looks like our AirDrop or our AirPlay to the computer is not going to work at the moment, but we could show you still kind of what it looks like on the computer side.
Yeah. All right.
As you send stuff.
So on my iPad, if you guys want to follow along with any iPad or iPhone you may have with you, I'm just going to open up the Photos app, and then there may just be one photo, or I can select several photos, and a little blue check mark will appear on them when I select them. And then there's kind of at the top a little paper with an arrow going away from it. That means that we're sending it somewhere. So when I click that, there's a little spot underneath the pictures I have selected that'll say AirDrop. And as long as you are on Wi-Fi, you should start seeing some devices pop up. So right now I see a little icon that says Tim's MacBook Pro. So if I go ahead and click that, I'm getting a little notification that says a little preview of the picture in the corner, and then do you want to accept or decline, or even accept and open this file right away? So if you were to hit decline, you wouldn't get this file, but if you hit accept, it goes automatically to your download folder. You see it's getting the message. And then if I check out in my downloads, I see that I have the 2 photos that I just selected from my iPad. So now they're on my computer, and I can upload them to my website, tweet them out from my computer, wherever I'd like those photos to be sent. So that's AirDrop. Another one, do we want to do my Twitter one? All right. So another one that I thought was pretty nifty is I myself usually am really bad at condensing what I want to say. So something on Twitter I found, since you're limited to 140 characters, if you want to share something more than 140 characters, I figure why not just type it on a Google Doc and then take a screenshot of it and upload that to Twitter as a photo. So what am I controlling here? Right. So if I go ahead and just go to my Google Drive, I can really quickly make a Google Doc. I'm going to just say, oops.
Somewhere.
What? Oh.
A nice little preview of one of our apps that we'll be talking about here in a moment.
So we're just going to pretend that what I typed here was more than 140 characters to make it worth it. And I'm going to go ahead and Command-Shift-4 and take a screenshot of that beautiful writing. And then I can go to my Twitter account, and when I go to tweet, I would just go ahead and select media or photo and upload that screenshot of my text. And then I could also add something in the body of the text as well, kind of explaining. So that could be good for like club reminders if you have all the dates on there, or just anything longer than the 140 characters you're trying to fit into a tweet.
Awesome. Thank you, Kayla. So I'm going to jump off to our day 3, 12 days of tech, and talk about a pretty useful little trick inside of Gmail. I know we all have email anxiety, and you always, whenever you hit send, especially if it's a big important email, sometimes you really wish you could take it back. Well, there is actually a feature in Gmail where you can take it back. And so the way to do that is, so I'm in my inbox at the moment, but over in the right-hand corner is our settings option. And if we come down to the actual word settings, under this general tab, there's a whole lot of different options on ways to customize Gmail, but the one that we are looking for is hidden down this way. If I can, there it is, undo send. It's very easy to skip past. But if you enable undo send by clicking the checkbox, and I would say just max it out, give yourself 30 seconds. What happens is anytime you send an email, so if we compose and we go to send one from Techer Turtle to my account, if Bubbles the Techer Turtle, is a little heated at the moment, hits send, but then realizes, wait a second, I don't want to do it. Up here at the top, your message has been sent, but I have 30 seconds where I can hit undo. It'll pull that email back, and I can make my change to what it should be in the first place. So undo send is an amazing little tool to undo those mistakes that we all make from time to time.
I had a lot of staff tell me how much they like that one.
I think that, yeah, that one appeals to everybody's tech anxieties a little bit.
Yes, that one's a good one. I'm going to do voice typing in Google. So I'm going to go back onto Google and just, did you save that document? Hop into a
My little
test.
gibberish.
Wait,
It's in the second tab there.
second tab. Right here, okay. So I'm going to drop on to Caitlin's document and just delete that. And what you can do is you can actually voice type in Google. This would be good for students that have trouble or slow typers, or if you may have a student that's broken their arm, their right hand, or anything like that, maybe that they could use the voice typing for that option too. Under Tools, you're going to see this option right here, voice typing. And I think I'm going to pull up my researcher like I'm doing research, and I'm going to come up here and search for panda bears. So I have some pictures and some information. And here it says, the giant panda, also known as panda bear. So what I want to do is I'm going to put that in my own words so I don't plagiarize or copyright. So I'll click here. The giant panda is also known as a panda bear. When I'm done, I click off. Sometimes you might have some words misinterpreted, so you can go back and edit it. But it's a great tool, and it's pretty accurate. And you might have to remind your students that they're going to be using it to speak clearly and enunciate. That's under Tools, voice typing, and once you want to use it, you click on it. And you can also, like it says here, it reminds you that if you say period, it'll put a period at the end, or if you say new line, it'll go to a new line. So just click on it and start composing away.
Awesome. Cool. So I have another one that's a real quickie, which is sometimes when you're working, and especially on the laptops, you don't have a huge amount of real estate that you're working with, and you want some extra space that the dock does not provide for you. There's a pretty neat keyboard shortcut, which is Option Command D, and hide the dock and show the dock when you'd like to. So I think we've all run into that time where you're trying to resize a window, but that dock is in the way, or maybe something just recently deleted and it's hidden behind that dock. If you simply select Option Command D, it'll move it out of the way and give you some extra space to work with. I guess actually mine is next as well, which is dictation. So this is becoming a huge thing. They're taking it from all the mobile devices that have all of this voice activated dictation and adding it into the operating system on the computer itself. So the way to activate this it's definitely any operating systems that are 10.10 and newer. I think that actually might even be on 10.9, but most of your staff computers should have been updated by this point, or if not soon, to have 10.10. If we go to the Apple menu in the upper left, select System Preferences. Down here towards the bottom, we have this option that's Dictation and Speech. So if I open that option, there's this option here to turn dictation on or off. If I turn it on, we see that down here our keyboard shortcut is the FN key. So it's that little, very probably unused key for most of you down in the lower left-hand corner of the keyboard. If we hit the FN key twice, once, there we go. We hear that sound. That sounds kind of like Siri activating. And what it'll allow us to do, jump off this page here. We see the little microphone shows up, taking our, we'll get the little sound level on here. And when I hit done, we'll see that while it was jumping around, it was actually listening to everything that I said, turned it into actual typing. So inside of Google is awesome, where you can use the voice typing. Inside of Google, this dictation works everywhere else besides there. So you kind of covered with dictation across the board if you activate that up in your system preferences. So,
Tim, can I use that in an email?
I believe so. Yes, you can. Because Google hasn't, as of now, integrated that dictation into Gmail as they have inside of Google Docs. So yes, Google dictation from Apple will work just fine inside of an email. Excellent question, Mary Beth. And I think that actually brings me to my next and last, my little tip that I've taken out of their amazing list. which is one that I enjoy very much, as the Command F, which is the find command. So we see that kind of subtle, so I'm going to close it and do it again. But draw your attention to the upper right-hand corner of this screen. And if I do Command F, a little window jumps down where I can do a search for anything that I would like on the page. And we see that across the page, that word that I've just typed in gets highlighted, drawing our attention to it. It's a really easy way to sort through an enormous amount of information to pinpoint something that you're looking for. I like to use it if I'm ever looking through, hefty manuals or instructions for different software or, hardware, and I'm looking for like to have a really specific question answered. Do Command F. It'll search through that text and help you find your way to your answer a little bit quicker.
So, Mary Beth, why don't you go next? Both of mine are on the iPad.
Oh, okay.
And before we do that, you may have heard a new voice added to our group. Beth Bro has joined us from Dryden, and she will be carrying us through the end. Mary Beth and Beth both have a couple of things to carry us through to the end of our show.
All right, so what I'm going to talk about is Spotlight search. In the old operating systems, you had to click on the spotlight up here to search for things. If you want to check if your computer is currently in 1010, if you go up to the black apple and do About This Mac, you're going to see that it is in 1010 or Yosemite. If it's not, some of the things that we've been sharing are specific to Yosemite. So if they're not working at first, just double check to make sure you're in 1010. But the one that I use this one a lot because I like to use keyboard shortcuts. But this is Command Spacebar brings up your Spotlight search, and the Spotlight search is a little richer in Yosemite. So I'm going to search for Panda Bears again. Oops, too many S's. So I don't have any documents on here about panda bears, but if you look closely, you can use this as a place for kids to search for information, in that it gives you a Wikipedia hit, and then it gives you a Bing search on some of the other items in here. Let's see if we can get anything else. Let's try polar bears. Okay, this one gives us a definition, so you can actually click on that and see the definition of the word also. And it looks like this was also a hit on Twitter. So you're getting a lot more in your Spotlight search than you are in the earlier operating systems. Another thing, let me see if I can see a name of a document that is on here. Just maybe screen. What is that? Screenshot. Okay, so I was looking for a screenshot. So here it's pulled up the screenshot. Well, if this is hidden in a folder, in my documents folder, I kind of want to know where it's at, because I've decided I want to move it. If you hold down the Command key and click on it, if you look down at the bottom here, this gives you the path as to where the actual file is, so that you can access it in your folder or in your documents folder. So this is the item I'm looking at, and I can see that it's in my user, in the student, on the desktop, and here's the name of the file. So that's helpful in locating your files, even in Spotlight. Another thing the Spotlight does is conversions. So if I want to know about 48 liters, I'll just type that. Oops. And as you can see, it gives me conversion of all what 48 liters is. So you can put in different types of equations in there, just like you can do in your search address bar on your browser.
And I think that's a totally useful one. No more going to Google and searching for some random conversion. It's just built right in, accessible right there. So.
I do all my math there.
Right, and then when you're all home making holiday meals or baking, you can now just find out how many cups in an ounce. And
right, how many
just right here.
tablespoons of brown sugar you need to add to everything.
And if my hands were dirty, I could do it with voice typing, right?
Exactly, yeah, we use some
Look at that.
dictation.
The other thing is, I'm going to try and find, see if there's any documents on here. If you type in the name of a app like Pages or Word or Excel, I'm not finding it. It will list all the documents that you've used recently. Probably not on this computer.
Yeah, we don't have too many on here since it's the demo machine. But.
So what it will do is, if you, let's say I have a whole bunch of Word documents. Whoa, if I can only type. Right over here, it would list all the most recently opened documents from that application. So if you know you typed it in Word and you know you did it recently, sometimes you don't know exactly what it was titled, you can just do that here and it'll pull up all the documents that you recently had opened.
Awesome.
And now I'm going to do Command Spacebar to close my Spotlight. There we go.
All right. So I'm going to do, is there another one?
No.
I'm going to do the two on the iPad.
All right.
Okay, so.
Boom. All right, there we are.
Okay, so the first one I want to talk about real quick is the camera app privacy settings. Say I wanted to use Pic Collage. So I'm opening Pic Collage and I want to bring in a photo. I don't need to talk. Oh, look, it's our Christmas photos. Say I wanted to add a picture from my photos. If my photo roll didn't come up, which it did because I've been using Pic Collage, I could simply go to my settings. Let's see the way. I could go to my settings, privacy, and the list on the side that's moving here has a camera. And here I can see all the apps that have been given access, and I see Pic Collage is off, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that on so I can use my camera with Pic Collage. You can do the same thing for microphone. See the list of all the apps I've given microphone, and then there's the photo one, which Pic Collage was turned on. So, but if you get the little box and the kids maybe skip the box or say no, you can always come here to your settings under privacy and get that fixed. And then the next thing that I want to show you, goodbye Pic Collage, is this fantastic book app called Epic right here. So this app has a lot of books online. You can sign up for an account or you can use the app as a guest. So I have an account signed up with our LMC. So I'm going to click on that. As a teacher, I can look through the app, put my password in. I can look through the app as a teacher or a student. I can search by title keywords. I can search all ages. I can browse the books. And this actually shows me pictures of the books. I have these preferences here on the top right that I can actually pick age groups and or things like picture books or comic books, whatever I want to include in my search, hit the update button, and then that's what I'm looking at. So again, if I set this up as a teacher for my students, with each student having their own account, I would set this once and it would hold. And then students and our teachers could save books to their favorite. And then there's an educator section. So I'm going to come back to my profile here and go to the profile or to look at the student profile
file. When I click on my students, in this case, the student's name is guest, I can view a reading log. And the reading log will show me from last year, because we've been playing with this for a bit, all the books that were read by my student guest, how many page flips they actually did. So you're not just, so you're getting a little bit of track record of how interactive the students were being, and how much time they spent is on the far column in each book or reading each book. So the books are, if I go back to the books, some of them are, this is what the book looks like. Some of the books actually are audio books, not all of them, but some of them are. They would be a little icon to tell you. And little tips and hints. So the kids love it. It's a great way to get hold of some ebooks. The ebooks come with the site. So that's my tip.
Awesome.
Epic.
Yeah, absolutely.
One thing I forgot about this great spotlight.
Sorry, I'm going to grab it 1 second.
Yeah, let me turn my thing on. There we go.
All right, is you can also search how do you spell it? Panera. And under here it comes up in maps. It'll show you where it is. It'll give you a map. It gives you reviews, time it's open, and little menu items. So that's another great place to look for movie theaters or
Or if that holiday ham gets burnt in the oven and you need to find the nearest restaurant to move your whole family over to for dinner, that is the way to go. Cool. Wow. We're gonna pop us back over here so we are on camera one more time. I just really want to thank Caitlin, Mary Beth, for coming in, you know, making it like the holidays and having some family visit us here over at 25 with Tech 25. If you were counting, you may have noticed that we only really got to 10 of the 12 days of tech. And so, like I said, check out the email, the follow-up email. That'll have a link to the rest. Check out what the other two little tips are. So thank you for joining us. We will see you after winter break. Have a great, restful break. And yeah, we will see you later.
Happy holidays.